He was born with nothing, no money, no privilege. In a cramped, aging apartment deep in the heart of the old city, he knew the meaning of scarcity, not just in material things, but in opportunity. The faded walls echoed with the stories of people who had come before and left with little more than hope. In his small hands, clenched tight with resolve, he held on to one thing: the decision to never give up. From the very beginning, every day was a struggle. Morning light barely filtered through the dusty window as he woke to face another round of hard work. While others his age slept in, he was out before dawn, carrying heavy bricks at the construction site, his back aching and hands raw. Sweat dripped down his brow, mingling with the dust and grime of honest labor. He helped his mother repair broken furniture, fetched water for neighbors, and took on any odd job that would put a few coins in the family's jar. It was never enough, but it was all he could do. He watched his friends from school return to comfortable homes, their lives seemingly untouched by hardship. They laughed easily, their worries light. Sometimes, a pang of envy twisted in his chest, but he never let it linger. Instead, he dreamed, not of luxury, but of purpose. Each night as he closed his eyes, he imagined a life where he could lift others out of struggle, where he could stand tall, proud of what he had built with his own hands and heart. But dreams alone could not change reality. He knew that. So he made a silent vow: he would not surrender to his circumstances. As the years passed, others found escape in distraction. They wandered the streets, idled in noisy crowds, or lost themselves in fleeting pleasures. But he was different. In the quiet hours after work, when exhaustion threatened to swallow him whole, he pulled out battered old books scavenged from library bins. He read by the weak yellow glow of a single bulb, scribbling notes in the margins, hungry for knowledge. Words became his mentors, stories his guides. He built discipline one choice at a time. In the cramped corner of his apartment where there was barely enough space to stretch, he trained his body. Makeshift weights crafted from old water bottles and sand became his gym equipment. He did push-ups until his arms trembled, driven by the belief that a strong body would build a strong mind. Not every attempt was a success. He failed math exams, stumbled through job interviews, and sometimes doubted his own worth. There were nights when the weight of failure pressed down on him, heavy as stone. But each time he fell, he remembered his vow. He refused to quit. He learned that discipline was not about perfection, but persistence. Slowly, change began to take shape. Small victories, barely noticeable to others, became his fuel. He landed his first real job, an entry-level position that paid little, but opened the door to new experiences. He was nervous, but determined. When the chance came to speak to a small group at work, he pushed through his fear and found his voice. It was shaky at first, but every word made him stronger. He started helping others. He saw echoes of his own struggle in the faces of those around him, and he offered what little guidance he could. Sometimes it was advice. Sometimes it was simply a listening ear. These small acts of service gave him a sense of belonging, a reminder that even the smallest ripple could make a difference. Day by day, his confidence grew. He realized that success was never handed out. It was earned in the quiet moments when no one was watching. It was built from sacrifices, late nights, and the courage to keep going even when the path was unclear. The boy who once had nothing transformed before the eyes of those who doubted him. He built not just a career, but a reputation, a man of integrity, resilience, and vision. Soon, he found himself leading a team, guiding others with the same patience and determination he had taught himself. He stood on stages, his voice steady and inspiring, sharing his journey with those still searching for hope. People often asked him his secret. Was it luck? Some hidden talent? He smiled and shook his head. It was never about luck. It was never about fleeting motivation. The secret was discipline, the daily choice to do what needed to be done, even when he didn't feel like it. Discipline turned his pain into progress, his setbacks into comebacks. He remembered the boy he used to be, the one who stared at the cracked ceiling and wondered if life could ever be more. Now, as a man, he looked out over the city from a rooftop at dawn, the first rays of sunlight painting the sky with promise. In that quiet moment, he understood. His past did not define him. His discipline did. He wanted others to know that they, too, could rise above their circumstances, that the story of yesterday did not have to be the story of tomorrow. The journey was never easy, but it was always worth it. If he could rise from nothing, so can you. The question is not if you are ready, or if the world will give you the chance. The question is, will you start today? Discipline builds leaders. Leaders change lives. So take a breath. Look at where you are now, not with regret, but with determination. Your first step doesn't have to be big. It just has to be yours. Comment your first step today and join the journey. Because every leader, every story of triumph, begins with a single, disciplined choice.